the life in the campus.
On a bright Monday, my college life began. I am Eric Kim, a new student from Korea who came to study in Indonesia to try a new experience. I am of Japanese and Korean descent. My mother is Korean, while my father is Japanese. I am an only child who wants to try a new experience studying in Indonesia. Before choosing Indonesian as my place of study, I had considered many things, and now it's the first day of my classes after orientation. Today, I am determined to make many friends from various places and also try to communicate a lot with them. I left the apartment around 7 a.m. and took public transportation to campus, which takes about 7 minutes. Upon arriving at campus, I entered through the main gate and walked while occasionally checking my phone to confirm the location of my first class. After confirming that my first class would be in room L501, I went to building L and planned to take the elevator to the 5th floor. However, this morning the elevator was quite crowded and packed, with many students queuing to take turns using it. I then confirmed once more that there was still enough time to wait for the elevator, and after confirming that the first class started at 7:30, I decided to wait for the elevator. While waiting for 10 minutes, I finally got into the elevator, and shortly after, I arrived on the 5th floor and started walking toward the classroom. When I entered the classroom, many people had already arrived and were seated inside. I walked toward the seat located in the middle section, and not too long after, a girl entered the classroom and sat next to me. She introduced herself and her name was Lisa. The first time I saw Lisa, she was a very beautiful girl with a tall body. She was a humorous child, and I felt very happy to get to know Lisa. I also explained to Lisa that I am not an Indonesian citizen, and it turns out Lisa is quite fluent in Korea as well. She said she can speak Korean because she likes K-pop and K-dramas. When the first class started, a student was required to introduce themselves in order, starting with their name, place of residence, and hobbies. It was my turn to step forward and introduce myself. When I introduced myself, there were many amazed and astonished responses from my classmates. Some even asked how many languages I spoke, and I replied that I spoke 4 languages: Korean, Japanese, English, and Indonesian. I felt happy because I received a positive response from my classmates, and when I returned to my seat, many welcomed me and visit me to enjoy my stay in Indonesia. After the first class ended, Lisa invited me to go to the cafeteria because there was a 1-hour break before the next class. Once we arrived at the cafeteria, I saw many food stands selling Indonesian specialties. I couldn't wait to try the Indonesian food. After we found a place to sit and eat, Lisa recommended that I try nasi uduk, an Indonesian specialty and her favorite dish. I was excited to try the food Lisa recommended. We then went to the nasi uduk stand and started ordering food and drinks. Lisa was very kind. She helped me order and pay for the food. After getting the food we want, we returned to our table and enjoyed our meal. And how surprised I was! The taste of the nasi uduk was very delicious and sweet my palate. The savory flavor combined with the spiciness of the sambal was really tasty. After eating and resting, we started walking toward the second class located in building I-310. Once we arrived in the classroom, Lisa and I sat in seats that were neither too far back nor too far forward. While waiting for the lecture to arrive, we chatted a bit. Not long after, a man approached us and wanted to introduce himself. His name was Aldi. The first time I met Aldi, he was a friendly person, but he had a unique way of speaking, even a bit of regional accent. When I asked where he was from, Aldi replied that he was from Yogyakarta. Aldi also spoke very softly, which amazed me. After getting to know each other, Aldi asked for permission to sit next to me and I allowed him. Then the three of us chatted together. The second class began and we introduced ourselves just like in the first class. Our professor in this class was also very humorous and seemed quite young. He also gave me tips for living comfortably in Indonesia. The second class went by quickly without us realizing it, and we were given an announcement that tomorrow there will be performance and promotions from several extracurricular activities on campus, and students can choose at least one extra to take. The three of us were very excited for tomorrow, so we walked out of the gate and said our goodbyes. Lisa went to the motorcycle parking lot. Aldi walked to his dorm, which was nearby, and I headed towards the bus stop to go back to the apartment. When I arrived at the apartment, I cleaned myself up and also tidied up the things I brought from college. After that, I lay down and called my mom to tell her about today and my two new friends. My mom was very happy after hearing my story. Not long after, a notification popped up that Lisa and Aldi had created a group chat and added me to it. They also said that if I ever had any difficulties, I could contact them directly and they would always be ready to help me. I was very happy and grateful to have met and become friends with them. The next day, I went to campus like yesterday. As I entered the gate, someone suddenly called my name, and when I turned around, it was Lisa who had just come out of the motorcycle parking lot. We walked towards the shared classroom building. Today, our class was in Building Q. Building Q is the tallest building on our campus, and it is also very modern and beautiful. Lisa and I waited in line for the elevator, which was not too crowded. While we were waiting, someone gently tapped Lisa's shoulder, and it turned out to be Aldi. He came with a big smile, and we greeted him with a big smile as well. Not long after, the three of us got into the elevator and went to the third floor, where our class was. Upon arriving in class, we only saw a few people who had come. We sat into the back row, and not long after, someone came in and greeted us. She also came over to me and said good morning in Korean. At first, I was surprised, but I immediately responded to his greeting in Korean as well. She cackled softly and then sat next to me.
She introduced herself,
To Melissa and Alti, and her name is Devanya.
but he asked to call her Jea.
After the introduction, Jia asked for our permission to join us, and of course we allowed her because, as we could see, Jia is a very cheerful girl. Today we only have one class, so I invited Lisa, LD, and Jia to go eat. When we arrived at the field, there were many extracurricular clubs promoting their activities. We decided to walk around first towards the stand of the club that we were promoting. I was interested in joining the dance club, and a senior gave me a form if I was interested. I accepted it and continued to walk around. After we were satisfied with walking around, I approached Lisa, Aldi, and Jaya. I saw the three of them choosing different clubs, like Lisa choosing the music club, Aldi choosing the martial art clubs, and Jaya choosing the painting club. 2 weeks have passed, and I have gotten somewhat used to the assignment and campus life. Right now, I just arrived at campus and decided to walk toward the class. But as I was walking, my phone suddenly rang. After checking, it turned out that Mr. Farhan, the lecturer, was unable to attend. I sighed and sat on the park bench while contacting Lisa, Aldi, and Jaya. Not long after, Jaya arrived with Lisa, while Aldi was still at his dorm. I asked both of them if we should go back home, but Jaya suggested that it would be better to try the newly opened cafe. The cafe is very close to the campus, about a 5-minute walk. We agreed to go there and contacted Aldi to meet us at the cafe. After we arrived at the cafe, the three of us were a bit surprised because the cafe was very nice. We sat down and ordered. I ordered a cheesecake and an Americano. Leah ordered a strawberry smoothie and Jaya ordered a croissant and a latte. Our orders arrived and we started enjoying them while chatting. Not long after, Aldi came with his friend, Ricky, and they joined us. Ricky himself is a student from the law faculty. I often see him coming and going with Aldi because they live in the same boarding house. And Ricky is quiet but friendly. The day began to darken and we decided to head home. When I got to the apartment, I cleaned myself up and cooked rice for dinner. While cooking the rice, I called my mom and told her about today. After finishing the rice, I fried an egg and then started eating. After dinner, I washed the dishes and went to my room. I sat at my study desk and started studying. At 9 p.m., I finished studying and felt very sleepy, so I decided to lie down and get ready for bed. Today was very enjoyable. It was my first time going to cafe in Indonesia, and it turned out to be very beautiful and pleasant. However, not every day feels bright. In the 5th week, I started to feel overwhelmed. College assignments are piling up. The club is also starting to take up time. I started getting confused when discussing with other friends. Sometimes there were Indonesian phrases they used that were hard to understand and overwhelmed me. Once, I misunderstood the instruction for an assignment and did it wrong, which resulted in a low grade from me. I started to wonder if my decision to live and study in another country was the right choice. I tried to talk to my friends and Jaya suggested that I take a break and communicate with my parents. After hearing Jaya's advice, I went back to my apartment and tried to contact my parents. When I started the video call, I could see my mother smiling and waving at me. I could also see my father, who was also smiling widely. Seeing both of them made my eyes well up. I missed my parents. I wanted to eat my mother's cooking. I wanted to be hugged by my father. That's what was on my mind. I started telling them all my problems. My mom welcomed it warmly. She gave me very soothing advice, as did my dad, who encouraged me. After chatting with them, I began to realize that this was the choice I wanted from the beginning, so I will fight for it and enjoy it. The next morning, I woke up with a new spirit. Although the sun was not too high yet, the morning atmosphere in my apartment felt different. I opened the window and let the morning air in. After washing my face and brewing a cup of warm tea, I sat down at my study desk. I opened my notebook and started making a list of things I needed to do today. A new method I was implementing to manage my time so I wouldn't feel overwhelmed like last week. Upon arriving at campus, I was greeted by Lisa's warm smile as she waved at me from the gate. I smiled and walked over to her. We walked to the classroom building together. While we were waiting for the elevator, Aldi and Jaya arrived, as usual with cheerful face. They brought bread and milk from a shop near the campus. Aldi immediately handed one pack to me. Then he also gave one pack to Lisa. That day we had a pop culture class that turned out to be quite interesting. Our professor, Ms. Ratna, assigned a group project to create a presentation on the influence of popular culture among students. I, Lisa, Jaya, and Alti, who have gotten closer to us lately, decided to form a group. We discussed and decided to raise a topic of how K-pop influenced the fashion and lifestyle of Indonesian youth. The group discussion marked the beginning of many warm and funny moments. We often met after class, either in the library or in the cafeteria, to discuss the project. Lisa, who is very enthusiastic about K-pop, brought many references about her favorite girl group. LD even suggested what we incorporate some comedy into the presentation to make it more engaging. Meanwhile, Jaya, who enjoys driving, started creating illustrations, sketch, to enhance the visual appearance of our presentation. One afternoon, while we were doing our assignment in the library, the room light suddenly dimmed. Heavy rain poured outside. We all fell silent for a moment, enjoying the quiet atmosphere accompanied by the sound of raindrops. Simple moments like this make me feel that I'm not alone. That even though I'm far from home, I have found my new family in this strange place. With them, I learn many new things. With them, I also don't face many difficulties. And with them, I feel that everything will seem easy when I'm with them. The day of the presentation has arrived. We all wore outfits that slightly reflected K-pop style, completely with bomber jackets and bright colored sneakers. Our presentation went smoothly and was full of laughter. Even Mrs. Ratna looked very entertained and praised our creativity. After class, we celebrated by eating meatballs on the side of the campus road. Although simple, it felt so delightful because of the togetherness we experienced. Ricky, who was usually quiet, loved the loudest that night because of all the jokes, imitating a K-pop idol dancing in the middle of the sidewalk. Day by day, I'm getting more accustomed to the rhythm of life on campus. I started to enjoy the activities in the dance club. There I met many students from various regions in Indonesia. We often practiced together in the campus hall, especially in lead up to the campus art performance that will be held in a month. I was appointed as one of the main performers to present a contemporary dance inspired by Korean and Indonesian culture. This is a very exciting opportunity for me because I can express my original culture and combine it with the new culture that I am starting to get to know. And between dance rehearsal, I also started to become active in several cross-cultural discussions organized by the International Student Organization on my campus. I was asked to be a speaker in a small forum discussing the experience of being an international student in Indonesia. I share how at first I felt foreign, confused, and eventually found a new family and comfort in this country. It turns out that many students from other countries have similar experiences. We share, support each other, and even plan a simple cultural exchange event to be held in the campus park. Time flies. One night while I was dancing in the campus hall, Lisa walked in with good news. She announced that our presentation results were uploaded to the campus social media. I was surprised and laughed, but I was also afraid that many people would find our results strange and misunderstand them. However, Lisa said that we received a lot of positive responses and many people commented and praised us with positive words. Hearing this made me very happy and proud of my friends. That night, we celebrated with karaoke in Lisa's room. We agreed to have a dinner together and we ordered fast food. While waiting for the food to arrive, we sang K-pop song, Indonesian song, and even Japanese song that I taught them. Jaya really likes anime songs, while Ricky surprised us all with his baritone voice when he sang dangdut song. Also, LD as usual became the star of the night with his funny dance. However, behind all the joy, I still realized the importance of maintaining a balance between study and entertainment. I started to study more disciplined. Every night I set aside time to read and review my lecture materials. I even started getting used to taking notes in two languages, Indonesian and English, to make it easier to understand. Lisa often helped me understand difficult terms, and she also gave me a dictionary of Indonesian that she made herself just for me. A few weeks later, when the campus art performance was held, I performed with the dance club. My performance received thunderous applause. I wore a modern hanbok combined with a batik cloth as a shawl. Our dance became a symbol of the fusion of Korea and Indonesia cultures. After the performance, many students approached me and congratulated me. Even some professors shook my hands and praised my performance. They also gave me some flower stamps and invited me to take photos together. That night, I returned to the apartment with a heart full of gratitude. I called my parents and showed them the recording of my performance. My mother even shed tears. My dad said that he is very proud of me, and he also promised that when I have a break and come home, he will buy me anything I want. My mom also said that she will cook me delicious food when I go home later. After hearing their words, I can't wait for the semester break and return home. The following days on campus became increasingly filled with various colors. I learned to face challenge with my head held high. I learned that living in another country is indeed full of twists and turns, but also full of delightful surprise. I learned that language is not a barrier but a bridge to deeper understanding. And most importantly, I learned that family doesn't always have to be about blood. Sometimes family is those who stand by us when we feel alone. Now my first semester is almost over. I sat on the same campus park bench where I first felt doubt, but this time I smiled. I know I am in the right place, and this journey, although not yet perfect, has brought me closer to my dreams and to myself. This story is not just about classes and assignment. This is about growth, about the courage to step off the comfort zone, and about finding new light in a place I never expected to call home.